Welcome back, my friends. We are here, of course, at Bull Run, and we're still playing that Union campaign, doing our absolute best to garner a victory here. I'm hoping it's going to work out. Obviously, we have to do a feint attack here and try to capture Matthews Hill and capture the Stone Bridge. Honestly, I think this is a very difficult proposition, especially considering we've been given a very tiny force to do this with, and not 100% sure that it's going to work out the way we want it to. What we're going to try to do is bombard the hell out of that area right there where I know the Confederates are waiting for us. Whether or not we're going to be successful, only time will tell. And considering that this is not our main core army, these guys are essentially helping us right now. We're going to really have to hope that they know what they're doing. It's really that simple. So I'm going to put my cannons over here. I'm actually going to try to get them even closer because I want to make sure that they're going to fire on the enemy position since they're barricaded, and I think we're going to have to go for a charge. I just don't see any other way to really break through this bridge, especially since the enemy has really good cover. It puts us in a difficult position. So we're moving our boys up. I want to try to let them rest just a little bit because I want their condition to be at basically 100% if they're going to follow through with this charge. And I want them to be ahead of the actual artillery, so I'm actually going to have some of them run. The 2nd New York will stop them from running really soon, but I want the enemy basically focusing on our infantry if they're going to fire. I don't want them focusing on our artillery if they're going to fire. We need our artillery to soften up these targets. So we're going to go ahead and move over here. We already see the Louisiana Tigers, and this is a really, really tough opponent. We're going to try to open fire on them. It doesn't look like they're behind the barricades yet, which gives us somewhat, not an advantage, but a better chance at beating them otherwise. So I'm just going to set up my cannon and start firing. I hope we can get shell shot at this distance. I'm not sure we can, but we're going to have to make our way up that hill one way or the other. And knowing these Confederates, I'm a little concerned that they might be waiting with a unit behind this hill to attack us. You can see already they've got some cannons that they're firing at us. Let's see how we do when we fire our cannons, see if we can hurt the Louisiana Tigers, and then, of course, charge on through. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and carry that charge out, get right across that bridge, and see if we can't take some territory here. Yes, that's right, it's a full charge all the way. Now, admittedly, this is a tough one. We're going uphill for this charge. The Tigers are definitely going to be able to get a few shots off at us. Probably going to get some flanking fire on us as well. But I feel confident that we can break them. And obviously, if we break them, we take this area and hopefully take this location from the enemy. So there we go. It looks like our boys stopped, and sure enough, Rebel cavalry spotted. I knew they were going to have some people waiting there. I didn't know just how many. But now that we're actually over here on this side, we could stop the charge. We just want to go ahead and keep firing at this position. And of course, the position is now ours, but I'm going to try to move the 2nd Ohio over here to flank the enemy. We've got a bunch of boys ready to fire at this location, and they are shooting uphill, so it's not going to be as effective as if we were on top of that hill. You can even see the 2nd New York taking some serious losses. I'm actually going to have the 2nd Ohio run, and sure enough, the Louisiana Tigers have been forced back. That's pretty great. I'm going to immediately take my cannons, get them up here, and just start taking this area. Now, don't forget that another location we're supposed to take is up here, and I'm not so sure we can get up there successfully with just 3 brigades that, quite frankly, don't have a lot of men in them. Nonetheless, it's not going to stop us. We're going to keep on moving forward and see what we can do. Our cavalry can cross the river undetected. Well, sure, scouts. And actually, it would be good to get some scouts. So sure enough, we've got the 4th South Carolina over here and the Lynchburg artillery. I'm going to move some of my infantry north this way to take them on. Of course, we're really supposed to be focusing over here on this particular area, but I'm not going to let those South Carolina boys just blast our men away without us doing anything. So we're definitely going to move up there. Of course, we lost some men on that charge uphill, but I think it was worth it. And the one thing I am concerned about is the fact that the enemy's got some arty there, and the fact that they have some pretty good cover. We're going to be out in the open, sort of like an exposed thumb. But I'm feeling confident, I should say, that if we take this location, or if we get rid of these troops over here, we can bring our scouts over. And sure enough, look at this. We've got our core army that can lead the attack over here. So I'm first going to send them into an area that I think will be well defended. I want to keep Agrippa back just in case they decide to get sneaky and start shooting at him. Make sure that he stays safe during this battle. And maybe we could even bring the scouts in and start attacking the enemy. I'm thinking I would love to get another charge, but I don't think we have enough time for it. Or enough condition for it, I should say. So for now, we're just going to have to prepare ourselves to not charge, but just to basically open fire on the enemy and try to displace them. I hope our scouts have some guns. They do. They've got a Glock pistol. Not a Glock pistol. If they had a Glock pistol, this battle would be over really, really quickly. They've got a lock pistol, and I think this thing can do some pretty nasty damage to the enemy. So we're going to go ahead and actually try to flank the enemy from both sides here. One with the cavalry, one with the infantry, the 2nd Ohio. And I'm actually going to move the 1st Ohio over here into the woods. So there we go. 10 scouts already down. That's not good. We've got some enemy skirmishers here. I'm going to charge. I didn't realize that we had skirmishers. I do see that the South Carolina boys are routing. And yeah, we probably just wasted our damn skirmisher units, or I should say our scout units, fighting those skirmishers. But you know what? It happens. It happens to the best of us. And right now I'm just going to try to work on their artillery, work on their skirmisher units, and mess them up real good. Even these South Carolina boys aren't going to escape this bombardment. Now let's take a look over here at the front lines. We're still sending our boys forward. We've got Marshall and Russell joining us, and General Beauregard, you guys already taught me how to say this, is leading the defense. That's concerning. Another thing that's concerning is this entire position is up a hill, and it has no cover around it. So if Beauregard is here, he is most certainly going to have some surprises for us. And look at that. We've got the clay dragons approaching us. Maybe we need to send the 1st Ohio boys over here to face them. Unless our artillerists can get off a nice canister shot before they arrive. But it's not looking good for them, I must admit. All right, I'm going to move the 2nd Ohio. Run, boys. I'm going to let you run for this one. They're going to hit the boys over here, and we're going to have to leave someone here. Beauregard is actually approaching here with Hampton's boys, Hampton's Legion. So I want to make sure that he does not become a problem. Now look at this. The 2nd Ohio is actually in battle with this artillery unit. I don't know what the hell is going on, but it's getting pretty nasty out there. It does look like the artillery is getting massacred now, and that's good, but they're going to send their skirmishers in to try to even out the fight. I'm going to actually fire at the South Carolina men because they're going to try to join here, and they right now pose a bigger threat to me than the skirmishers do, in my opinion. The 2nd Ohio is doing their best to hold that location, but this is a tough melee fight. So here we go. They might pull back, but at least we'll get a flanking shot on the 4th South Carolina, and we're holding against Beauregard, and sure enough, look at that. That's what I thought was going to happen. We've got a bunch of Confederates here. We'll go ahead and move Marshall here, move Loomis up here as well. Get this artillery with scales right there and start peppering the enemy with shots. And of course, we're going to move Agrippa up here to survey the battlefield. And it looks like Franklin and Wilcox are coming in. We need that support. But I think our best bet is going to be to move through the woods and attack this position. Let's take a look over here. Looks like it's just the New York boys now. The Ohio boys had to retreat, and not before doing some serious damage to the enemy artillery there. And I'm hoping we could send these South Carolina men running back to their farms. We don't need them on the battlefield. They're just causing us problems, especially with those skirmishers all around us. I really want to get rid of them. And maybe we can even get rid of Beauregard here. Clay dragons look like they're pretty much stuck, which I love. That's beautiful. Go ahead and fire at the clay dragons. What you get for attacking Union men. And we got some more supplies. Alright, so far we have not started the attack, but we are going to have to start the attack very soon here because time is running out. One thing I want to do is get that artillery up close and personal with the enemy. And it looks like Bartow is going to try to lead an attack down on us. This is a bit crazy. But we're going to go ahead and pepper him with everything we have. And in fact, I think he might just be trying to force us into an attack because he's falling back now. That's pretty smart tactics by the enemy. Nonetheless, we might have to take the bait. We've also got Howard's in support of the attack, Howard's brigade. So we're going to move them forward, firing now at the back of Bartow. And I think once we get on top of this hill, we can probably lead a much more concerted attack on the enemy. I'm going to send Marshall through, get some cavalry support. And, of course, we'll get Agrippa to be behind the men and support them in this frontal assault. If they get on top of that hill, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. So we're going to try to do as much damage as we can to the Louisiana Tigers. They ran all the way back here just to defend this Matthews Hill area. And I want to make sure that we waste them. So here we go. Keep firing, boys. Marshall, downhill charge. I'm hoping that that downhill charge is going to give us a little bit of momentum. I'm going to take Loomis, and I'm going to have Loomis charge too. I'm not usually this crazy with the charges, you guys know that. In other games maybe, not in this one. But there we go. Unfortunately, Marshall was routed by Bartow, but now that gives us free reign to fire down on his position. We're getting some pretty good shots here on the Louisiana Tigers, and who knows, maybe we will follow through and attack them. But I really want to get this artillery up. I want to get the rest of our men up here as well, and try to take this position before that timer kicks us off the battlefield. The Battle of Bull Run must be a victory. It's that simple. Let me try to change history here a little bit. For those of you that are enjoying this particular campaign, make sure to smash that like button. Always leave comments down below and share this with your friends if you think they're going to like it as well. Obviously, we always want to get as many people as possible involved with the channel, and that's how we grow. That's how we start doing videos every day. We start doing streams every day, and I think it's just going to be great. If we can get to that point, I'm going to be a very happy man, and if I'm a happy man, you guys are going to be even happier subscribers, because I'm going to do everything in my power to just make videos non-stop. Here we go, firing on Bartow, and he's close. I think we could get a canister shot off on him. Fortunately, I think he probably realized what was going on, took off. Smart move by Bartow. Doesn't mean I'm not going to stop targeting him with scales. And Marshall, I think, can take on the Louisiana Tigers. We're also going to do the same here with Walton. Charge. Their morale, or not their morale, but their condition is not what I like it to be. I'd like it to be a little bit better, but sometimes you don't get what you want. Put it that simply. Unfortunately, up here, our boys are struggling quite a lot. We have managed to rout some of the enemies, but obviously Matthews Hill, or the Stone Bridge, is definitely a contested area. So here we go. We could even send some reinforcements, and I should be looking at the mini-map. Luckily, we didn't really lose much time. Beautiful. Rebels withdraw to Henry Hill. Okay, we outnumber the enemy, and we must keep pushing forward. I agree. Confederates are establishing their defense here near Henry Hill's farm, and General Jackson has been spotted coming from the south. That definitely makes things harder. Must break the defense of this hill and before more rebel reinforcements arrive, waiting for your orders to attack. Well, I'm glad that we just now got these guys on the battlefield, so we didn't lose too much time with them. But we definitely want to go ahead and push them over here and start pressing on the Confederates on this end. Hitting them pretty well with some canister shot, but I want to get our Union boys to hang out over here in the town, the 1st Ohio, and obviously move towards Henry Hill. First, we've got to take this position. We're doing a pretty good job, but we could do better. And as reinforcements arrive, we're going to send them forward, sort of a second wave. I always like to alternate between waves because these guys are tired, so we're going to let them rest a little bit while they regain their condition. And then maybe we send the rest of the guys through. I could put Walton here in a defensive formation just to make sure we're holding this area, but I'm not even sure that's necessary. I think they've pretty much sent everybody to Henry Hill. Now, the one negative aspect, we don't have a supply wagon over here. We only have it on the left. And, well, our cannoneers are out of ammo, especially since the enemy is approaching. We've probably got to speed on forward here towards that location. So let's go ahead and send our men this way. Of course, some of our men are going to be going towards Henry Hill, but a good portion of our men are going to be going east to assist the boys over here at the bridge. Now, then again, the bridge is no longer a position we need to hold. Now, that's an important aspect here. It's not a position that we need to focus on, so maybe I'm making a mistake here, and maybe we should be sending all of our men towards Henry Hill. Of course, I want to probably approach and get in the woods. Thomas Jackson's brigade appears to be defending Henry Hill. Unfortunately, we're leaving a lot of our men out here in the cold, facing a rebel opponent that they may or may not be able to stop. B is approaching. Come on, boys, give them hell. And now our men are being charged by B. They're going to smash into the 2nd Ohio. Now, we do have some reinforcements on the way, as you can see, but it's taken them a while to get here. We're going to have to cross the river here, try to get behind the enemy with Keyes and his buddies. And, of course, we're bringing that artillery over. Colonel Alexander McCook is wounded. So I might actually try to get a shot with Keyes here if we are in range. If not, I'm going to maybe ignore that cannon and continue the attack. So here we go. Yeah, the 1st Ohio is in trouble. Hoping the 2nd Ohio can help them somewhat. Alright, Wagner's moving forward, and since he's a skirmisher, I think he's in a great position to spot the enemy. Let us know what the hell is going on, but not if he gets attacked by the Virginia men who are trying to force him out of this location. Luckily, we don't have to hold this position anymore. Remember, that was just a sort of a distraction, get the enemy focused over here, and now we are moving forward. So I've got the scouts, I've got Sherman, of course. I think I'm going to send the scouts against the artillery, while Sherman and the rest of these guys face the skirmishers. In fact, we'll even make some skirmisher brigades here. There we go. Look at those enemy skirmishers getting hit. Of course, being out in the middle of a river like this, we put ourselves in a very dangerous position, so we must move forward. Skirmishers, scouts, go for the attack. Alright, our men are getting massacred here. Stuart's cavalry spotted to move on our right. Well, hell. Can't win them all, I suppose. We'll go in charge of the artillery, or with the cavalry. I should have to pay 50 cents every time I make that mistake. Alright, there we go, guys. Going to move forward with Sherman. We're not going to give up on our men just because they don't hold a position that's important anymore. We're going to try to flank the enemy here and cause as much damage as possible, and also keep them focused on our men over there by the bridge while we push forward and try to take Henry Hill. I think that's going to be a winning strategy. We're still moving some artillery over. Let's grab those supplies. They might as well come over as well. But at this point, we've got to get into those woods. I think those woods are going to be the best place for us to be. And let's get Scales to start firing on guys like the 33rd Virginia. Also go ahead and grab Howard, make some skirmishers out of his men. Move them forward as well to put on the pressure. Don't forget that these skirmishers can fire farther distances than most of our regular men, and that's a huge bonus. So I'm sending Franklin over here to try to flank the enemy from the west. And I'm not so sure it's going to work, but I'm going to send Marshall with him. Really push on the hill here where Jackson is stationed. Let's see how our new brigades are going to do. 1st Ohio has pulled back to a safer position, and they're fighting B now. And at least now we're on even territory and on even terms. Keep firing, man. Sherman, get your skirmishers. I don't like that Hampton's legions is off on our left flank, but pretty sure they're out of range. I'm going to ignore them temporarily. And we've got some men that have pulled back to those barricades. We probably should have held those barricades. But I didn't realize you could fire out from the front of those barricades and still get the cover bonus. That's annoying, I must admit. There we go. We routed the 33rd Virginia. We're moving on Jackson's position. And, of course, Franklin and Marshall got pretty close. I'm going to actually send Marshall on a little scouting trip. See what's up there. Plenty of locations here for the rebels to hide. Try to see if I can shoot Jackson, get a lucky shot on the general. Obviously, taking Jackson out this early in the war would be a major bonus. But things don't always happen the way you want them to, right? Let's make sure Agrippa is with the men here. We need you with the boys, sir. Alright, Loomis, hit the Virginia boys. See, now they're trying to run across and stop us from taking this position. But we've caught them. Caught them with their pants down, and I'm sure as hell going to push the advantage. Unfortunately, Marshall, we kind of lost sight of him. He's still following Jackson, but he's being chased by rebel cavalry. I'm going to try to hit the 27th Virginia here, but we might need to go ahead and put the pressure on Bartow if we plan to break through. So I want to make sure we get some artillery on there. Sorry, Henry, you might need to rebuild your farm, sir, but it's for the good of the Union. And Hampton's Legion is trying to flank us. We definitely want to hit that position. Let's get Ricketts over here, too. Damn it, Franklin, charge. Just having to really work around here. Oh boy. Nasty, nasty shell shot. Bartow's going to take a nasty pounding here, and look at that. Bartow is going to rout. Beautiful. At this point, I think I want to try to get some skirmishers over here in the defensive position, and we can focus on the Virginia, boys. Let's have them turn in a proper direction. Oh yeah, we're smashing them across the river there. I think we need to keep up the fire. Get Ricketts over here too. I wish we had all of our artillery pieces here, so they could really give the enemy a pounding. Actually, we'll put Wilcox in this position. He's a big, strong brigade, and using that farm as cover, I think he can inflict a lot of damage on the enemy. Which Wagner must keep moving forward, so must Howard. He must take the area for our men. Colonel Lewis Wagner is wounded. Well, Wagner, you did a good job, I'll tell you that much. Still got enemy artillery here, which troubles me, for sure. So does the appearance of General Jackson on the field, but he can't be pushed aside and ignore our main duty, which is going to be to take this area, take this hill from the enemy. Get those Virginia boys. Come on, Franklin. I'm really surprised. I got to give it to the 27th Virginia. They put up a hell of a fight and lost nearly all their men. They're going to be remembered in the South for a long time, but it's not going to win them the battle if we can keep pushing forward. I guess Wilcox didn't take the position. I want Wilcox taking the position. Let's try that again. We'll get Howard skirmishers to fire here on the enemy. And Ricketts is right on top of the enemy. If we could get some canister shot downhill here at the river, I don't see how they could hold on. Get a grip over here. Actually, I want that shell shot going to the 4th Virginia. Turn those cannons. That's right, boys. Still got a few men over here, too. I barely even noticed them. We're going to lead them to flank the enemy completely. Franklin forward. Walton forward, sir. Need every man. Actually, it looks like Howard's going to try to blow Jackson into the river. We have secured Henry Hill, guys. It's still contested, so don't get your hopes up. But considering the situation, I think we're in a good spot here. And I'm actually going to charge with Keys. I would love to take Hampton's Legion captive. And I'm hoping that 2,600 men can take 500 men captive fairly easily. But they're probably going to rout before that happens. But just look at that flanking fire. We come up across that side of the hill, and Hampton's Legion surrendered. Beautiful. We're going to take them off the battlefield. They're, of course, going to rout. We've ordered them to walk off the field. They are not armed. And at this point, they are going to try to get the hell out of here before we take more of their men captive. Let's go ahead and hit these artillerymen. In fact, I'm going to make some skirmishers here. They can move much farther than our infantry can. And there we go. Broken Bro has been broken broed. I've used that pun so many times. And eventually, somebody's going to really hate me for it. But you know what? It's not getting old as of yet. Here we go. We got Bartow. We got Stewart. We got a few strong brigades moving up here. But with our position in the woods, I think we can hold this area. I certainly hope that that's the case. All right, Keys. We could try to charge a Sherman downhill and see if we can break these guys for good. But I think they're going to keep on moving along. They don't want any trouble. Got some skirmishers here, too. What the hell? Sherman, get him. Take him prisoner. Oh, they're going to run. Get some more men over here. Might as well bring them forward now. Position is ours. We are not leaving it. There we go. Sherman is in the thick of it. But it looks like most of the enemy's going to escape. Alright, just fire at them, Sherman. It's enough for the charging. I think if we could just hurt them this way, that's enough. It's sufficient. Look at all those supply wagons waiting back there. trying not to get hit. Henry Hill is still contested, which is frustrating to me. Shouldn't be contested. 3, 2, 1. Interesting. Confederate counterattack. That's going to really make me wonder how the battle's going to go. So our men are exhausted from the continuous fight and more rebels are coming. We should defend our position and not advance further. Well, that makes a lot of sense to me. Of course, there's an enemy supply wagon there that I'd love to take. So we're going to have to prepare for this attack. We've got some artillery back here. We're going to move them over to the farm, or to the hill, I guess. Looks like a farm to me. And you guys know how this works. If you like the video, keep hitting that like button. We're going to take a little break now, and we will be back with part 4 if you guys want to see some more of the Union campaign. Thank you guys. Take care, and have an awesome, awesome day.